Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It's an absolute pleasure, as I always say, to have each and every one of you back here with me. Now, if you are new to the channel and you're wondering what the hell this is all about, my name is Ben and I get out into hotspots here in the UK that have a lot of strange reports coming from them. Some of these reports could be things like extraterrestrial beings being sighted, strange, hairy, upright, walking, bipedal creatures, and the list goes on and on and on. Now, I am an experiencer myself. I had a very strange experience when I was growing up as a child that has led me down this path for answers here and now. So hopefully you guys, if you are interested in this, will choose to stick around, subscribe, give this one a thumbs up, and drop down in the comments box below. Without further ado, guys, kick back, relax, and enjoy.
This way.
The origins of life is one of the greatest unsolved problems in science. Nobody knows exactly where or how life originated. About all that is known for certain is that microbial life had established itself on Earth by about 3.5 billion years ago. In the absence of hard evidence of what came before, there is plenty of scope for disagreement. As somebody who has experienced another life form, something alien and outside of our basic human understanding, I am of the belief that humans were never the first or only life forms to call this planet their home. Every year, thousands of people from all over the world will experience something that they can only describe as otherworldly. The experiences vary from simple UFO sightings all the way up to full-blown alien abduction. It is my passion and my hobby to try and get out into these locations and make sense of the mysterious world that's all around us. It's an absolutely stunning location. I never get bored. Out of all the years of coming here, I never get bored of bringing my camera and just sitting here with my dog, or even a flask before she came around, and just taking all this in, because it is such a beautiful area. So one of the questions I get asked quite a lot, whether it be on the Facebook page or the YouTube channel, is, do you actually believe in some of these stories though, Ben? And my answer, honestly, is it's not my job to believe or disbelieve. Of course, I'm going to build up my own personal opinion, but I try to keep it that way. I try to keep that personal, because ultimately it doesn't matter what I believe or disbelieve. If I believe this person's lying or telling the truth, it's really irrelevant. What I would like to do and what I'd like to achieve is to spark something in you guys that makes you go away and looks further into these locations that I explore and some of the stories that come from them, because then you can build up your own mind as to what you think. And sure, like me, some of these stories that you read, you might think, well, that's a lot of crap, like that's not genuine, that's clearly a fake. But even if there is just 1% of those stories that you're reading through coming from these areas that makes you think, wow, that is terrifying, that does seem pretty genuine to me, then surely that's enough, especially for me, to pick up my camera, get the dog in the car and head out to these locations. Because the idea that something from somewhere else, another planet, another star system or whatever, is walking on this earth amongst humans blows my mind. I do believe that extraterrestrials are here. I believe that they are being sighted all over the world, not just the UK, Brazil, America, Africa, everywhere, every continent on this planet has a story to tell about humans interacting or coming across some kind of extraterrestrial beings from elsewhere. And if I'm ever lucky enough to see something that I can report and catch on camera, you guys will be the first to know about it. The chances of that, I think, if we're all honest with ourselves, are slim to none. But besides that, it's just nice to get out and talk to like-minded people like yourselves without the ridicule. So I am just one guy, and this is a vast, vast area that I'm in right now. And for me to step foot on this soil for 1 day, 2 days at a time, and then declare that there is nothing here because I haven't witnessed it, I think that that is very unjust and very unfair. So this is roughly in close proximity now, I believe. How weird. I hope the camera picked that up. I was just about to say this is in close proximity or thereabouts to where me and Junior heard the man scream or shout, which sounded like a man screaming or shouting, and then just as I'm about to say that, I've just heard something again in exactly... Maybe it is just a man shouting. Maybe that is possible. Like, sound travels so far in these areas. But how weird that I was just about to say that on the camera, and then I hear it just before I open my mouth. Weird. Weird, man. Weird. Now I believe. Maybe not that weird, but coincidental, yes. I've heard a few deers as well. It's always nice to hear the deers out. So guys, I'm going to get my flask out, grab a quick coffee, sit back and relax while talking to you guys. Hopefully you are doing the same and you're enjoying it this far. If you are, please do comment below. I was going to sit by the river while having the coffee, but it's quite loud when I'm listening back to the footage on the phone. And so I'm going to move up this hill away from the water so I can speak to you guys and be heard a bit more clearly, hopefully. So I do apologise for not being able to sit next to that scenic river and discuss some of the things that I wanted with you guys, but I don't think you would have heard me. I've not got no external mics or anything, so I think we'll head in this direction. Lily's going completely the wrong way. This way, Lil. Good girl. Good girl. She's a nutcase. She absolutely loves it in these areas. Can you imagine the amount of smells that she can pick up? It must be driving her crazy. Up this way, Lil. This way. Good girl. Oh no, that is not good. Oh boy. What do you think, Lil? You think there's like extraterrestrials, UFOs in this area? You sure do, don't you? You sure do. Good girl, good girl. You know, as I'm sitting here now, and I do this quite a lot, I look around and I think, if these stories are real, people are actually seeing extraterrestrial creatures, whether it be reptilians or the small greys, or even strange lights in the sky, UFOs leaving the forest canopy, whatever it may be that people are reporting in this area. Why? Because when I look around, I see nothing different to other parts of the world. You can go anywhere and find this. And maybe that's why they do. Maybe this isn't a special place at all. Maybe it's just that this has here what is located many other places around the world, and that's why they are seen many other places around the world. Who knows? But what I'm saying is that, what would they get from this place? It's a very barren place, and it's hard to imagine any kind of life form travelling through the solar system to this very small spot in the UK. Because what is here? There's a bit of water, some trees, and grass. Nothing that you would imagine warrants that kind of a journey. But then again, as I'm thinking that, if we go through the animal kingdom and we pick out certain animals and we observe their life or their world through their eyes, they might look back at humans and say the same. You know, it's okay us saying these things from our point of view, but to an alien or an extraterrestrial, this place might be rich in something that is so important to sustain in their life that journey is well worth the effort. But until we know what these creatures are or these beings are and how they live, it's very difficult to step inside their shoes and make assumptions. But you know, there is another theory, that they didn't come from space. Like these beings that people are seeing here on the North Yorkshire moors, they didn't come from some far distant galaxy or planet. In fact, they've always been here. Where? I have no idea. Are they slipping through a different dimension that lives alongside ours, and the witness gets to see a glimmer inside their world for a split second? Or are they living in underground caverns and caves, and they only come out at certain times of day, and just by chance that cyclist was fortunate enough to be in the right place at the right time? I'm not sure, but that theory isn't anything new. I'm not talking about anything new here. These theories have been in the UFO circles now for many, many years. And if we look back through the biblical texts and the ancient drawings and hieroglyphs of Egypt, you'd be stupid not to ask the question, did they know something that we don't? And I actually believe that they did. I actually believe that a long time ago, these beings were associated and involved with humans. And it was kind of the norm back then. I don't know what happened. I don't know why all of a sudden they've become shy. Maybe they've been banished, or maybe they've been exiled from the surface and have to go deep underground. Who knows? Because we do hear about the galactic war quite a lot, where people say that humans, or a select few people here on Earth that are in the know, they know about this war that's taking place out there with these other extraterrestrials that keep visiting. They know about their reasons for being here, and if they're hostile or friendly. They know all of this stuff, but there are only a select few that do. And it's just fascinating because there are so many theories as to where these things come from, if they're here all the time, and what they're doing here, like why. There are so many theories to answer those questions, but none of them are wrong and none of them are right until they actually present themselves on a mass scale. I don't think we'll ever truly be satisfied with any one answer. Come round, good girl. As I push my way through overgrown branches and continue to carve out new pathways through this barren landscape, I can't help but recall some of the terrifying encounters that have taken place in this very location. Many of those encounters began with almost identical backstories. The unsuspecting dog walker who stumbles across 3 very small childlike beings with grey skin. Or how about the loving father of 2 who, while out camping with his 2 young children, was taken from his tent in the dead of night by 2 very terrifying creatures that defy explanation. I think deep down that we all believe it will never happen to us, until it does. If you are interested, guys, in getting out and doing this for yourself, then do it, by all means. I can't encourage that enough, because the more people we have in these circles talking about these strange phenomena, the better. That can only ever be a good thing. And you really don't need that much. Like an open mind, a camera so you can document your findings and your thoughts along the way is really all you need. Now, I have used the drone today, but that's not a must. That's just kind of a luxury item to make it more enjoyable for you guys watching this at home. And yeah, like I said, if you go on a quick Google search and you type in your area wherever you are in the world, I'm sure you'll find that there are many strange things happening close by that you just wasn't aware of. And that's because this isn't just a UK phenomena. This is a worldwide phenomena. People are reporting similar things to what I mentioned here on the channel all around the world. But it would be nice to see more people getting out there and building the circle of friends bigger and bigger, because the more people we have talking about these things, the better. Because no doubt after watching my videos, a few of you will have gone to work the next morning or been at a friend's house and started to discuss these things that I mentioned. And what that does is it sparks conversation. That's always a great thing, because from that conversation, new theories will arise. You guys will get back to me, and I will have a different way of looking at things that maybe I didn't before. So that's only ever a healthy thing. I can almost guarantee that I'm not alone in hearing about these stories in my own local area. Here's a weird question for you guys. If you saw a UFO, like you was lucky enough or unlucky enough to see a UFO in a Travis Walton type scenario, so you ran up to this thing, they took you aboard the craft, but they said, we can't bring you back. This is a one-way ticket. You're more than welcome to come along with us, but you won't be coming back. What would you say? And it will be interesting, because no doubt the answers that I'll hear back from you guys will vary, because there'll be some people that's not happy with the state of the earth and how it's been run. Then people might say, I'd go in a heartbeat and I would never look back then. Then there's other people that might say, not a chance. I wouldn't step foot on a UFO, and I'd want to be here with my family and my friends, even if it meant that I don't get the answers I'm looking for. I'd rather live out my days here on Earth without ever knowing. So yeah, it's a tricky one. I mean, I don't think I'd go. I think I'd stay here on Earth and just put up with the torture of not knowing. But that will probably divide opinions, because some people no doubt will say, yep, I'd be gone, and some people will say, not a chance. So not a chance in hell. It's hard going. You know, this is one of those locations where if you see anybody out, it's cause for worry, because it's not a place that people would come. It's not a place that you'd expect to see dog walkers. And so if you see anybody walking up towards you, they're either as crazy as you are or up to no good. I'm probably stereotyping a bit there, like you've got to give people the benefit of the doubt. I'm sure there will be people venturing into these areas like I do, but very few and far between. So yeah, I mean, there's some areas that you can go here in the UK. Dalby Forest is one of them, and you'd expect to see people. Now that is another area of high strangeness, and a lot of reports come from that forest, but seeing people there is not unusual. It's like a very touristy place, whereas this just isn't. There's no public footpaths. This is really, in terms of the UK, as far off the beaten track as you could possibly get. So yeah, I'm not sure which I like best. I mean, Dalby Forest is a beautiful place. I've spent many nights camping out there myself, and all sorts of strange stories from that area. Even mutilations. We go right back through the years. There's cases there of human mutilations, animal mutilations, and yeah. The only thing that offsets it a little bit, like I said, is that it is a bit of a touristy site, because there's mountain bikers that go in there now. There's big trails that go through the woods, or through the forest, sorry. And then you get hikers and runners. But I've said this before, when you look at an area of high strangeness and you see so many people there, it's easy to think, well, actually it's all lies that people are talking about because there's too many people here. But those people, those buildings, those mountain bike trails, they wasn't there longer than the forest. So before all these people showed up and before all these mountain bikers started cutting through the forest, it was a forest, still with many high strange things happening. So that's one way of looking at it, I guess, because I've fallen guilty of that myself before. I've been in areas that have many reports of weird things going on, and then you turn up and it's really touristy and there's people there, and it's easy to assume that, well, how can this be? If there's all these people here, how is so much weird stuff happening? But yeah, you have to remind yourself that those people wasn't always there. However, that forest probably was. So something that I've been thinking about doing on Facebook is setting up some group events, like once a month, something like that, where like-minded people can meet up for a skywatch. And if you want to download the CE5 app, then feel free to do that as well, and we can do a bit of that, because I've not really dived too much into that, and it'd be interesting to see what the results are. But yeah, bring a chair, a flask, some warm clothing, and an open mind. So look out for those if you are local, you want to meet me, exchange stories, and have a really good night under the stars. Then yeah, hopefully in the next few weeks I'll be setting up one of those events with a location, a time and a date. Hello!